Yo, what's good, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Shoot It Straight 2. Obviously, there was just some crazy NBA news that just went down, so we want to go ahead and talk about it right away. But first and foremost, I just wanted to thank y'all for helping us get to 30 subscribers. Obviously, it's not that much, but this is the second channel, and back when we did our main channel, about getting to 30 subs was obviously way harder. So we appreciate the continued support, and we just want to get straight into this news.
Big breaking news. Kyrie Irving, obviously earlier this week, requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, and he finally got his wish. The Dallas Mavericks have pulled off a trade for Kyrie Irving, and I wanted to just going to start it off. What's your first initial thoughts? Put the jersey down. He did not go to the Lakers.
Kyrie Irving should be a Los Angeles Laker right now.
No, he shouldn't.
He should be a Los Angeles Laker right now. I mean, LeBron literally just tweeted, "Maybe it's me," because he can't He can't even explain why Kyrie Irving is not a Los Angeles Laker. But before I get into that, for Dallas, because this is actually what did happen. For Dallas, it makes perfect sense. It's a really good trade for them. First of all, anyone who was going to get Kyrie, they didn't have to give up that much, realistically, for a player of his caliber. I mean, they only gave up Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, was it two first round and two second round. That's not that bad, all things considered. And Dallas's first round pick is not going to be that high up in the draft, so it's not really worth that much because Dallas is expected to contend. So it makes sense for both sides because realistically, Kyrie was going to leave anyway, and they got what they could for him. And for Dallas, they finally got Luka a legitimate second guy. Because Luka is still the best player on that team. I love Kyrie, but Luka is still that guy on that team. And now he finally has that guy who can be there with him. And it's probably not the perfect fit. I mean, Luka is going to definitely be the real point guard of that team. And Kyrie's going to be more of the shooting guard, which makes sense. But probably you would want to link him up with the big man if you could. But realistically, you can't really pick and choose. You have to go get a superstar when he's out there. And that's exactly what Dallas did. So I give them 100% credit for that. But in my mind, he should be a Los Angeles Laker. And,
no, he should.
I don't know if this takes Dallas over the top. I still don't know if they're ready or if this is enough to get them over the hump and potentially make the finals or anything like that. I don't know if this is enough. But it's a step in the right direction. Now, if they traded them to the Lakers would have become immediate contenders. But
no, they wouldn't have.
The reports have just come out that Joe Tsai literally he demanded that he does not get traded to the Lakers. He said, "I'll trade him anywhere else except the Lakers." So I don't know really what to say about that. I mean, obviously, Dallas's offer was probably better, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed, I will say that. But overall, I think it's a good trade.
Nothing makes me happier than seeing sad, delusional Lakers fans. There's nothing more satisfying in the world. And to speak on Joe Tsai, that's a national hero. Joe Tsai is a national icon because it is a privilege. You only see stuff like that done for a a player that they appreciate and they respect. This Brooklyn's team has nothing to respect from what Kyrie Irving has done. He's done nothing, realistically. His entire career is thanks to one LeBron run in 2016. That's it. That's all he has to write for his career. And usually, when a player gets to choose where they're traded to, if the franchise and the owners have some type of respect, we saw that with James Harden. James Harden was with the Houston Rockets for years, and the organization respected him and asked him, "Where do you want to go? And we'll send you there." Same thing with the Cavs. I mean, LeBron always left on his own fruition, so he's never traded. But usually you see with superstars like that, if the franchise is willing, they have a good relationship, they'll send you where you want to go. But obviously, Joe Tsai, for all the tomfoolery, foolishness Kyrie has done, I'm not getting vaccinated, I'm not playing, I'm going on vacation, I'm going to take whatever days off. He's his own clown show. And that's what as soon as especially coming out of nowhere, wanting to be traded like this, especially when Brooklyn's doing good. I mean, Brooklyn were almost contenders for the title. I mean, they were playing very good ball, but for him to request a trade out of nowhere and him talking about how he always number 7's my guy, it's 7-Eleven, he's just this big old, just really, I can't really respect Kyrie as a person. I mean, as a basketball player, obviously he's phenomenal. He's one of the greatest handlers we've ever seen handle a basketball, but he is the most unreliable superstar ever. There has not been a more unreliable guy in the league. because usually you'd have that with someone being unreliable is that they're always injured. Kyrie is injury prone, but he's also just crazy prone. I mean, there could be one week where he just decides, you know what, I'm just gonna take like a 2-month break. This guy is too unreliable, and that's why I don't really care where he went. He could have went to the Lakers. He could have went to the Mavs. I don't think he's not going to contribute to a championship winning team anymore. That's not what he's about, because he's too much of almost like a basket case. I mean, do people just think he's going to, behave in Dallas? I don't think he is. I mean, I don't know if he's going to really get along that well with Luka, because this is the guy that left the Cavs because he was tired of LeBron's shadow. I mean, he's going from shadow to shadow to shadow. So I don't know if that's magically going to change. I mean, this guy, he thought he was a max player in Brooklyn, and obviously when he was really not. So I don't know if they're really just hoping for the best, that something's going to change. But this Dallas team is nowhere near good enough to contend for a championship. They're a good team. They definitely makes the West more stacked. But Dallas as a whole team, they're a little bit lacking in defense, and obviously adding Kyrie Irving is like the opposite of defense, but it makes your offense a bit better, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and I think, look, we've seen Dallas make runs in the past. They had Jalen Brunson, and obviously I would say Kyrie is an upgrade on Jalen Brunson, obviously, but that can only get them so far. So if that was not enough to get them out of the West, and Kyrie is a slight upgrade on Jalen Brunson, and pretty much it's a similar team around him, I don't see that pushing them.
Also, it's will Kyrie be playing? I mean, at least Jalen Brunson, you can say, he'll play.
I'm assuming he's going to play. I'm assuming that he's playing. Yeah. And in this scenario, so if he's playing, I think, potentially if Luka goes on another crazy playoff run, which, we've seen in the past, this team could make a Western Conference Finals run. But I don't think they can go any further than that, just because that's their ceiling. Because that's where they hit with Jalen Brunson. And Kyrie is an upgrade on Jalen Brunson, but it's not enough of an upgrade where you can say, yep, they are going to win the West, make the NBA Finals. I still take Denver over them. I take a healthy Grizzlies team over them. I mean, there's teams I take over them. Honestly, probably the Clippers I still take over them if they're fully healthy.
If the Pelicans are healthy, the Pelicans have won.
Well, and the Pelicans, they've obviously been on a horrible run, but they've been, Zion hasn't been healthy. Look, I don't know.
A lot of people in and out.
I think this is going to be a season where we don't, the seeding is almost not irrelevant, but it's kind of irrelevant where whoever, you just got to get into the playoffs. You get into the playoffs and
get healthy. You have to be healthy.
If we see a 7-seeded Pelicans and they're actually fully healthy, they can still make a run. It's not impossible. And in the past, you would say, a 7 seed, they're ass. That's not really, the NBA really, it's not really like that anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, you just have to go off of track record. I mean, you look at, what a player is coming into an organization. What are they bringing? What's on your resume? And what is on Kyrie's resume is utter disaster. That's all that's ever followed this guy.
Ever since he left Cleveland, yeah.
Ever since he went Cleveland, he went to the Boston Celtics, got hurt that first year, and the Boston Celtics made a crazy run to the conference final, pushed LeBron to 7 games, and almost beat him. Then comes back and gets absolutely smoked by the Bucks, and then has, a blow up with the franchise, then leaves to the Brooklyn Nets, and the Brooklyn Nets, what do? I mean,
they severely underachieved. I mean, obviously
they do nothing. The Kevin Durant Kyrie era, if you could call it anything, was an utter disaster.
It was a failure.
It's a stain on both of their legacies, and that can't really be. I can't really expect anything differently. It's an understatement to say Kyrie is a locker room cancer. That's an understatement, because this guy is a team locker room guy that just blows shit up. He goes there and he ruins everything. So I'm not going to expect any differently from this.
So do you think that this KD, Kyrie, and we'll even put James Harden in there, do you think that Brooklyn Nets big three, well, what was that big three? Is that the biggest failure of a big three in NBA history? I mean, I think it's up there.
No, it's hands down the biggest failure just in general, almost in sports. I can't remember any other for sure thing when it was locked in. When that was, I
thought that was a dynasty right there.
Oh my god! Like I literally cannot think of anything, because maybe what else, like that Lakers team with Kobe, Nash, and
Dwight Howard,
but like this one was different.
Because this was like peak. I feel like these guys were all kind of.
These were at their peak. Like, this is James Harden, like right off of Houston, and this was Kyrie and Kevin Durant. It's like there's no way. And maybe they maybe would have won if it wasn't due to injury. I mean, that first year when they ran against the Bucks, but even still, that the locker room was so bad because of these guys that they couldn't stick around each other. They couldn't stand to play with each other no longer. So that you can't just not consider that when, you know, looking at their entire thing. Yeah, if they would have stayed together, they probably would have won eventually. But the fact that they couldn't get along with each other entails of how bad this entire experiment was. And I feel realistically, I feel bad for Brooklyn because they're I think they're just going to go into another rebuild because I doubt Kevin Durant's going to want to stay there. Kevin Durant's probably the next one up. So, oh, he demanded a trade. I'll put my hat in there too. I mean, get me out of here too. Fuck. And the Suns are already fucking piping up saying they want him. So, I mean, get what you can out of those two guys and just try and rebuild what you have. I mean, it sucks because poor Nets fans probably thought, you know, bro, we finally got it. We got something, bro. And you end up with nothing. You end up with, you know, what did they even make a conference final? I don't think they even did they? They won like one playoff series. They beat the Celtics the year before. Before losing to the Bucks, but then, you know, nothing after that.
Yeah, honestly, I could agree. It was pretty much a failure, and at least compared to what they got for Kyrie, if KD does eventually get traded, they will get a significantly better trade package, something they can actually use in their rebuild, where you can say they got a lot for this guy. And I mean, it's Kevin freaking Durant. I mean, you better get a lot for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like crazy what they asked for because I mean, what is Kevin Durant's worth? I mean, is it 3 first rounders? Is it like
I don't even know.
What is that? I mean, a team's gonna have to really give a lot, and is it gonna be realistically worth it? Because I mean, Kevin Durant is no saint. He's compared to Kyrie Irving, maybe, but he's no you know, Mother Teresa. This guy is another, you know, kind of assassin for hire. I mean, if he's not happy at one place, he'll just demand to leave. I mean, this is the guy that signed a 4-year max extension, and then the first year asked for a trade. I mean,
and it looks like the second year he's gonna ask for a trade right now.
The second year he might ask for another trade because I mean, I don't see this Brooklyn team doing anything. I mean, they're just gonna be just fodder realistically, and I don't know if Kevin Durant's really gonna be a part of that.
Be a part of that, unless, you know, Josiah is like, we're gonna get this guy and we're gonna go again. And I don't know if he
what really guy are they gonna get?
I
mean,
I don't know.
Who could they get?
I don't know. I mean, at free agency, we'll see. I mean, I don't know who's exactly available at the end of this offseason. I'm sure somebody is. I have to look it up. I haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't done the research on that. Yeah, I haven't looked it up. But
yeah,
it's one of those things. That's a conversation we will continue to have because obviously Kevin Durant isn't going to get traded right now. Kyrie did, and obviously, you know, we both kind of agree this doesn't necessarily make the Mavericks contenders, but it makes them better than what they were.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I mean, unless you have any other final points.
I think that wraps this one up for now. We'll have to see where this goes. I mean, it'll be exciting to watch a couple Mavs games, but
yeah, no, I think everyone's watching that.
Yeah, just to see how this is gonna work because, you know, have like kind of 2 ball dominant guys, but we'll see how it works.
I mean, I think everyone's gonna be glued to the TV trying to see exactly how it is gonna work, and we'll have to wait and see. And we'll probably be talking about it, given our initial reaction to some of these future Mavericks games when they do happen. Yeah,
absolutely.
But I think obviously, before we get out of here, once again, just wanted to thank y'all for the continued support. If you enjoyed the video, hit a like. Let us know in the comments what you think of this Kyrie Irving trade. Will he make the Mavs contenders? Do you disagree with us? Do you agree with us? Are we wrong? Are we right? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button because obviously we are trying to grow this channel as well, trying to get our American sports up. We love talking about them just like we love talking about soccer. And if you like soccer, check out the main channel, Shoot It Straight. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers there. But unless you have any other final words, go to get out of here.
No, that wraps it up for me.
So obviously, I'm your co-host, Zach.
I'm your co-host, G.
And we will see you next time for another video. Peace.
Peace.